What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Mathews, back at it again with another video for Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. First and foremost, follow Sports Radio 92.9 The Game on all social media platforms at 929 The Game. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, we're everywhere on social media, so give us a follow. Subscribe to the 92.9 The Game YouTube page. It's just 92.9 The Game. You're here now, you know what it is. So subscribe and turn on your notification bell so as soon as we drop the latest, the hottest, the not hot techiest, because we don't try to be hot techie all the time, but you know what I mean. As soon as we drop a video, make sure you turn your notification bells on so you will know as soon as we drop it. You can be the first to watch and you can be first in the comments. You know people like to be first and stuff. Anywho, you can follow myself at _Dylan Mathews on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff at _Dylan Mathews. You can also, if you would like, you can subscribe to my personal YouTube channel. It's just Dylan Mathews, DYLAN Only one T, y'all know what's going on. I'm special, only one T, remember that. It's Dylan Mathews on YouTube. But guys, let's go ahead and get right into our video today. I'm giving you a fully loaded, all the fixings, Georgia versus Bama preview. National title game 2022, all the marbles. It's a rematch of the 2016 national championship. We know how that one ended up. Tua Tagovailoa came in and saved the day, and he threw that deep ball pass to Devonta Smith in the back of the end zone, and Alabama came away with the national title. But will it be different this year? Let's talk about it. So obviously, Bama and Georgia have met up this season already in the SEC championship game, where Alabama took down the Georgia Bulldogs 41-24. They knocked off the then number one seeded Georgia Bulldogs and took away a SEC championship title. So, how is it going to be different for the Dogs? Is it going to be different for the Dogs? So, the main thing that is going to be important for Georgia. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. On the offensive side of the ball, they're going to have to be able to run the football at least a little bit better than they did in the SEC championship game. Rushing wise, in the SEC championship game, James Cook had 11 rushes for 38 yards, his longest only 8 yards. Kenny McIntosh, though, I'm going to get to him more in a second. 4 rushes, 32 yards, his longest was 12. Zamir White, 7 rushes for 27 yards, longest rush only 9 yards. Stetson Bennett also got in the mix a little bit. Most of the time was scramble, 7 rushes for 11 yards, longest was a 14-yard run. Brock Bowers also rushed for a yard. But what I do want to talk about, though, when it comes to the running game for Georgia, Kenny McIntosh, could he get in the mix? Should he get in the mix a little bit more for Georgia's running game? I say that because he did average 8 yards a carry in his 4 rushes for 32 yards. So, and he had a long run of 12 yards as well. So he was a good change of pace back, and he did have at least a little bit success against that Alabama front 7. Like I said, averaged 8 yards per carry. So that could be a thing, you know, Georgia maybe tries to hang its hat on, and maybe something they try again in the national championship game on Monday, running Kenny McIntosh a little bit more, because he was gashing the Alabama front 7 a little bit when it seemed like he got in there and got his rushes. 8 yards per carry again. So that's something to look out for. But they're going to have to run the ball a lot better. And if they can't run the ball better, you know, because Alabama knows Georgia wants to run the ball on them. They are a run the ball first team. Alabama knows it. They did a good job stopping the run in the SEC championship game. They're going to try to do the same thing in the national title game. If they are able to stop the run, that is Alabama, of course. Is Stetson Bennett going to be able to make the throws he needs to? Because if Alabama is focused on stopping the run, will that give Stetson Bennett a little bit more time to throw? And if so, is Stetson Bennett going to be able to make those throws? He had a pick 6 last game, 2 interceptions total. He can't do that again. He's going to have to be able to make the throws, step up, make the plays when needed. Speaking of Stetson Bennett, you know, last time we faced Alabama in the SEC championship game, 29-48, 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions, one of those being a pick 6. Like I said, can't do that again. So, is Stetson ready to throw it all over the yard if Bama is taking away that run game. I do think they could have some success in the passing game. And Brock Bowers torched the Alabama secondary in the SEC championship game. He had 10 receptions for 139 yards, averaged 13.9 yards a catch for a touchdown, had a long reception of 31 yards. Now, with Brock Bowers hurting Alabama in the SEC championship game, are they going to try to take him away in the passing game for Stetson Bennett? If so, could we see more opportunities for George Pickens and Jermaine Burton? George Pickens seems like he's pretty healthy now. I mean, we saw him shove that Michigan DB into the ground and shush him. So is he feeling better? Is he feeling more like himself? Jermaine Burton did catch a long touchdown pass against Michigan. He had that 57-yard reception for a touchdown on that deep bomb Stetson threw to him in the college football semifinal game. So if they are trying to take away Brock Bowers in the passing game, does that open things up for George Pickens and Jermaine Burton? And is Stetson going to be able to get it to him? Is he going to be able to make the throws when necessary? So offensively, Alabama, they can't stop too much. I mean, Georgia has a very talented team. Obviously, they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the national championship game. So if they take away the run, Stetson's going to have to be able to throw the ball. And he has the weapons. He's got Brock Bowers. He's got George Pickens. He's got Jermaine Burton. So Stetson's going to have to be able to make the throws if they do take away the running game, which I think they will. Because honestly, if Alabama can't stop Georgia's running game, I think Georgia is definitely going to win this rematch. So that's the biggest thing for me for Georgia. You have to be able to adjust and take what Alabama is giving you. If they're giving you the throw, Stetson, you got to be ready, my boy. It's your time. You're supposed to be the mailman. It's time for you to deliver, my boy. It's time for you to deliver. Now, on the defensive side of the ball for Georgia, can Georgia's DBs slow down Alabama's wide receivers? Because they got cooked, straight up cooked, well done in the SEC championship game. Jameson Williams had a field day with y'all. Jameson Williams cannot burn UGA again like he did in the SEC championship game. Bryce Young can't just have all the time in the world to throw it around the yard. Bryce Young in the SEC championship game, if you don't remember, 26 of 44, 421 yards, 9.6 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a 98.1 quarterback rating. So, are they going to be able to stop Bryce Young? Are you going to be able to put pressure on Bryce Young? We got pressure, Georgia did, in the SEC championship game, but Bryce Young was able to escape that with his legs. Are they going to be able to finish the job Georgia's front 7 is and actually sack him? 0 sacks for the Dogs in the SEC championship game. That number has to be better. You cannot expect to win this game if you're Georgia and get 0 sacks on Bryce Young. So Bama has to feel the pressure from Georgia's defense. I mean, Georgia's defense has gotten them to this point. They got to try and finish the job here, at least help out the offense a little bit, maybe give the offense a little bit better field position, because Bama's defense is no joke either. And like I said, got to put pressure on Bryce Young, and not only pressure him, but get him down. He did have 3 rushes for 40 yards. He averaged 13.3 yards per rush. He had a touchdown as well. So does maybe UGA need to put a spy on Bryce Young? I don't know how that's going to help in coverage, if that's going to put Georgia in a disadvantage at all when it comes to, trying to cover Jameson Williams and the rest of Alabama's dynamic receivers. But do you think about putting a spy on Bryce Young? That's something to think about. Maybe spy Kobe Dean with Bryce Young. Also, UGA has to be able to contain Bama's run game. They did contain Bama's run game in the SEC championship game pretty well. They're going to have to do it again. 16 rushes, only 55 yards for Brian Robinson Jr., only averaged 3.4 yards per carry, had a long rush of 15 yards. Trey Sanders had 6 rushes for 21 yards, 3.5 yards per carry, no touchdowns, a longest of 14 yards. So the biggest question, like I said, for UGA defensively is, can they stop the Alabama wide receivers? The DBs can't get burned again, because the DBs have been getting exposed a little bit. In the regular season, they ain't really had to do much. They had to play anybody, and then, they were straight. But even, there were some moments in the SEC championship game where, I mean, not the SEC championship, definitely the SEC championship game, but the college football playoff game where, Michigan got behind them DBs a little bit. So they're going to have to be able to cover. Now, a little bit by the numbers here before we wrap things up. Stetson Bennett, 5-5 the touchdown to interception ratio. 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions versus Bama. He's 32 touchdowns to 9 interceptions versus any other teams. He's going to have to be ready against Bama. This has to be his moment. Bama has won 7 straight against Georgia, and they've trailed by 10 points in 3 of the last 4 meetings. So if Georgia gets up on them early, like they did in the SEC championship game, like they did back then in the 2016 national title game, can Georgia keep their foot on the Crimson Tide's neck and actually get the job done? Again, will Bama shut down Georgia's run game? If so, Stetson, are you ready, brother? Are you going to be ready to throw around the yard? Because you're going to have to do it. So Bama's probably going to try to take the running game away. Stetson, you got to be ready. Can he make big throws? No pick sixes. You can't gift Alabama points. And that's what Kirby talked about in one of his press conferences. In the SEC championship game, they gifted a lot of stuff to Alabama. You can't do that again. But guys, there's your preview. There are some stats, there are some numbers, there are some questions for you guys to think about. Will Bama be able to take the Georgia run game away? If they are, can Stetson make the throws? Can he make the plays? Can he find George Pickens? Can he find Jermaine Burton? Can he find Brock Bowers if Alabama isn't double teaming him and trying to shut him down? Can they do those things defensively? DBs, don't get burned now. Don't get caught watching Alabama's backside. Don't get caught watching those butts of those Alabama wide receivers. Stay in front of your guy, make some plays, deflect some passes. Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, put Bryce Young in the ground. Gotta get him on the ground. Can't let him run around. Can't let him feel comfortable in the pocket. Gotta get some sacks as well as some pressures. Bama got 3 sacks. Defensively, 6 tackles for loss. We're gonna need the same thing out of Georgia's defense to keep it a game. But guys, like this video, comment your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking about the national championship game coming up on Mondays. UGA is Bama. The rematch is going down on Monday. We want you guys to let us know how you're feeling about the Georgia Bulldogs' chances to get some revenge on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Can they finally take down Nick Saban and Alabama? Can Kirby finally get it over his sensei, I guess, if you want to call him that. But anyway, guys, like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, and hey, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all social media platforms at 929 The Game. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and until I talk to you guys next time, peace.